Okay, students, welcome back to the next session, that is male sex accessory ducts. So now we will discuss about male sex accessory ducts. In this already, yesterday we have discussed a few points, that is male sex accessory ducts consists of various parts. Those are reed testis, vas efferentia, epididymis, and vas deferens. Some more information about epididymis. Epididymis. See here, epididymis. It is single, highly coiled, long tube about 6 meters, 6 centimeters in length. That's all. It is 6 centimeters in length. Okay, so the epididymis is continued into vas deferens. Vas efferentia is connected to the head of the epididymis. The head of the epididymis is highly coiled tube. Highly coiled tube, that is single coil tube about 6 centimeters in length and connected to vas deferens. Vas deferens. Okay, that's all. Next here, actually, the sperms are produced in the seminiferous tubules. See here, yesterday already we have seen that. This is called seminiferous tubule. Sperms are this is called seminiferous tubules. Sperms are produced in the seminiferous tubules. So those sperms entered into the vas efferentia. See here, this is called vas efferentia. Through vas efferentia, entered into the epididymis. Like this way. Entered into the epididymis. Sperms are produced in the seminiferous tubules. Those are entered into the epididymis through vas efferentia. See here, this is called seminiferous tubules. Okay, this is called connective tissue. These are called vas efferentia. Vas efferentia. This is called epididymis. So this epididymis is a highly coiled tubule. Highly coiled tubule. Its length is about 6 centimeters and continued into vas efferentia. Continued into vas efferentia. Okay, like this way. See, this is one. Like this way. Like this, continued into vas deferens. So the sperms from the seminiferous tubules are entered into the epididymis. Those sperms get concentrated and get matured in the epididymis. Epididymis. Whatever may be the sperms are secreted from the seminiferous tubule, those sperms are entered into the epididymis through vas efferentia. The sperms, immature sperms get matured and get concentrated in the epididymis. Thereafter, those sperms are entered into the vas deferens. Vas deferens. That's all. Next one is vas deferens. The vas deferens. See, it is a tube-like structure. From the epididymis, single long tubular structure that that rises into the abdominal cavity, that enters into the abdominal cavity through a canal. That canal is called inguinal canal. Through inguinal canal, this vas deferens entered into the abdominal cavity, and it is directly connected to the urethra. It is directly connected to the urethra. This is called urethra, and this is directly connected to the urethra through penis. This is called urethra. This is called penis. Okay, ma? That's all. This is the vas deferens. Next, duct system. The duct system arises from the vas efferentia. The vas efferentia is connected to the epididymis. The epididymis is connected to the vas deferens. The vas deferens overlap urinary bladder and connected to urethra. Overlap urinary bladder means what? See here. This is called urinary bladder. Okay, so through this kidney, through this it is kidneys. Kidneys are located. That's why the vas deferens overlap the kidneys and urinary bladder connected to the urethra. The urethra is opened out through penis. Okay, that's all. This is the vas deferens. Duct system. Duct system also same. Duct system means tubular system. In the male reproductive tract, tubular system is arised from the vas efferentia, epididymis, vas deferens, etc. Okay, that's all. As I said, various parts. Okay, male sex axillary duct consists of various parts. Among those parts, all we discussed. Reed testis, vas efferentia, epididymis, vas deferens, and duct system. Those are all finished. Okay, so yesterday, before discussing testes, the male reproductive system consists of various parts, I said. That is a pair of testes. Male sex accessory ducts. Third one is urethra. And fourth one is secondary glands. Out of 4, 2 finished. Testis finished. Male sex accessory duct also finished. Now we have to discuss about urethra. Urethra. See, this is the diagram. Center again we have to draw. Okay, so same like this, this side will be there. See, that is within 2 seconds I will finish the diagram. Like this way, a pair of testes. See here, same way this direction. Like this way. Okay, so this is urinary bladder. A pair of kidneys. These are kidneys. Urinary bladder. Okay, that's actually arrangement in our body is like that. Okay, textbook diagram is different. That is also how to draw. I will show. Okay, so urethra. See, this is vas deferens. This is vas deferens. The vas deferens is connected to the, from both the sides, vas deferens connected to the urethra. So the urethra, both are connected to the urethra through penis. This is penis. So vas deferens is connected to the urethra through the penis. So this vas deferens overloop through kidneys and urinary bladder. Like this way, overloop. Kidneys overloop. Like this way, overloop through kidneys and connected to the urinary bladder and again urethra. See, this is connected to this and urethra. This is connected to this and urethra, like this way. So from the kidney, urine drops are entered here. Okay, that's all. Next here, urethra. So this is vas deferens is connected to the penis through urethra. So penis. So this is penis. Penis, it is highly spongy structure. The penis is made up of by spongy muscles. So when these spongy muscles are filled with blood, at that moment, these are spongy muscles. When these spongy muscles are filled with blood, at that moment, this penis becomes erect. It becomes straight. Okay, that is penis. Generally, the urethra opens outside through a small opening. This is called urethral meatus. Urethral meatus. Urethral meatus. Okay, so the vas deferens is connected to the urethra. Urethra is opens out through penis. In the penis, so urethra has a small opening. This opening is called urethral meatus. Next here, this is when the penis is erect. When the penis is straight at the time, so the enlarged end of the penis is called glans penis. Enlarged end of the penis is called glans penis. This glans penis is covered by loose fold of skin. This loose fold of skin is called foreskin. Generally, at the end of the penis, loose fold of skin is covered. That loose fold of skin is called foreskin. When the penis is erect, at that time, the penis is enlarged. The enlarged end of the penis is called glans penis. The enlarged normal time is it is a small structure. When it is filled with blood, at the time the penis is enlarged. The enlarged end of the penis is called glans penis. At the time, the skin comes backward. When normal condition, the skin is completely covered. When enlarged, at that time the skin comes backward. So that skin is called foreskin. That is called urethra. Urethra. Okay, ma? That's all. Secondary glands. Accessory or secondary glands. See here, secondary glands. So human male reproductive system is associated with various kinds of glands. Those are called secondary glands. Those glands are responsible for the secretions of various kinds of secretions. Those secretions are helpful for the sperm's motility and viability. Motility and viability of sperms. See, there are three types of glands are there. Those are called accessory or secondary glands. Those secretions are very important for the motility and viability of the sperms. The sperm needed to be moved. For example, fish is there. Fish wants to survive means water is essential. If water is not there, fish died. In the same way, if sperms wanted to move and alive, that particular fluid is essential. That fluid is secreted by accessory or secondary glands. So the secretions of those glands helpful for motility, movement of sperm, and viability, the ability to alive. The ability to alive is called viability of the sperm. So generally, that secretion provide pH, proper pH to the fluids and ionic strength. Ionic strength to the fluid. pH means what? Power of hydrogen. Power of hydrogen. Due to this pH, that secretion shows acidic and basic nature. Okay. So this fluid provides proper pH and ionic strength to the sperm. And also this secretions contains excess amount of substances. Those substances are fructose, inositol, calcium, prostaglandins, and certain enzymes. Secondary glands secretes various kinds of secondary glands secretes some kinds of a fluid. That fluid contains fructose, inositol, calcium, prostaglandins, and enzymes. In these, fructose is a energy source for the sperms. Energy source for the sperm. In human beings, there are 3 pairs of accessory glands are present. Those 3 pairs of accessory glands here we will see. First one, a pair of seminal vesicle. Seminal vesicles. See here will be there a pair of seminal vesicles. These are called a pair of seminal vesicles. A pair of seminal vesicles are located behind the urinary bladder. It secretes a kind of a secretion. Okay, that's all. That is called a pair of seminal vesicles. Next, second one. One prostate gland. So one prostate gland is located on either sides of the vas deferens or urethra, either sides of the urethra. This is called prostate gland. Prostate gland. Okay, next, below the prostate gland, a pair of Cowper glands. Cowper's gland. Cowper's gland. So see here. These are called Cowper's glands. Cowper's glands also called bulbourethral glands. Bulbourethral glands. So Cowper's glands also called bulbourethral glands. See, one prostate gland I said. Second one is one prostate gland. So it secretes a thick mucus. Thick mucus. So this mucus provide alkaline medium to the fluids present in the vagina. Okay, one prostate gland. This is the prostate gland. It secretes a kind of a fluid that provide alkaline medium to the fluids present in the vagina. That means what? This secretion make the fluids present in the vagina neutral, alkaline medium. That means what? Generally, female reproductive tract, vaginal region, the pH is acidic nature. Due to the acidic nature of the vagina, the sperm cannot be live. When the sperm entered into the female reproductive tract, it will die. So that acidic medium will make neutralize. Neutralize means alkaline medium due to the secretions of prostate gland. Okay, so during sexual intercourse, male person will release sperm into the female reproductive tract. At that time, along with the sperm, this mucus also entered into the female reproductive tract and make the surroundings of the vagina neutral. Acidic content is converted into neutral, alkaline medium. In the alkaline medium, sperm can alive. So that is the explanation about one prostate gland. Next, Cowper's gland. Cowper gland, also called bulbourethral gland. It secretes a kind of a secretion that is called fluid, a kind of a fluid. That fluid acts as lubricant during sexual intercourse. So if this fluid is not there, the sexual intercourse occurs in dry. The reproductive tract, male reproductive organ and female reproductive organ becomes dry. If that surface is dry, the sexual intercourse does not happen properly. The blood secretion will release. We will get huge pain. To eradicate that, so the Cowper glands releases a kind of a fluid, watery fluid. It acts as a lubricant. When couples are involved in sexual intercourse, before starting the sexual intercourse, this Cowper gland secreted a watery fluid that goes to reproductive tract and make the female reproductive tract lubricant. Lubricant means what? Smooth. Smooth and lubrication occurs very smoothly. Okay. In such a way, these three glands secretions are helpful. These three pairs of gland secretions are called seminal plasma. Seminal plasma. See here, from the seminal vesicles, the secretions are entered into this tract. Cowper gland, prostate gland secretions are entered into this tract. Bulbourethral glands secretions are entered into this tract. These three contents, the fluids of these three glands are entered into the urethra. And from the seminiferous tubule, sperms are entered into the vas deferens. The mixture of the contents. What are the contents? Seminal vesicles fluid, prostate gland fluid, bulbourethral gland fluid. These three gland fluids are called mixture. The mixture of the contents and the products of sperms all together entered into the urethra. Through urethra, the semen is expelled out. Without sperm, the fluid is called seminal plasma. With sperm, the fluid is called semen. The fluid is called semen. Okay, I think so you understood. The mixture of the glands, that is the seminal vesicles, prostate gland, bulbourethral glands, and the product of testes, that is sperm, are collectively called semen. The products of secondary glands are called seminal plasma. The seminal plasma contains excess amount of fructose, calcium, inositol, sugars, prostaglandins, and enzymes. Okay, that's all. So at the time of sexual intercourse, the urethra inseminate semen into the female reproductive tract. That's why this urethra is also called ejaculatory duct. Ejaculatory duct. Ejaculatory means what? Eject semen. Semen means the mixture of glands and the product of testes, collectively called semen. Okay, that's all. Next. Follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone. So both regulate the growth and functioning of the seminiferous tubules and Leydig cells. So seminiferous tubules and Leydig cells functioning and growth is regulated by follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. These are secreted from the anterior pituitary gland. So Leydig cells secretes androgen, that is called testosterone. That testosterone brings secondary sexual characters in human beings.